Hello everybody, how you doing and welcome. My name is Lord PeteyTV. I'm here to tell you about a heroic Silken court kill and how we ended up doing it. So here we go, we're going to get right into it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to end up doing our pull accordingly, and we're going to be doing it, and the tanks are going to be putting the bosses on top of each other. This is very similar to regular, normal Silken court. The only difference is everything gets a lot harder. In addition to that, the bosses have more health, and you got to make sure you're working a little faster. Now, when we're going through this process, we're going to end up pulling the bosses, we're going to end up DPSing them accordingly, and we're going to end up kind of going through everything. So, we're going to end up communicating everything that's going back and forth. What ends up happening here is that Ash and Risen, actually, they're really accustomed to doing this together, and they ended up pulling the boss. We end up DPSing the weakened boss, and we lust now, and we're going to end up kind of just blowing up onto the boss with all of the damage we could possibly do. Now, the thing that's most intriguing about this whole entire process is that when you're going through it, you really need to be aware of everything going on. That means the ads spawning up has to be pulled to the boss. The web bombs that are being thrown to everybody, which is causing the slows in the middle of the room. You got to be careful of the what they call quote unquote rain, which is like an acid rain that's hitting the whole group during that time. So you got to really be careful of that. There's a frontal that comes off the boss, and then you have your stage 1 and your stage 2. So he's going to go into his charge for the second time here. Ash and Risen have have the trip, and there's the trip, and we go for it. Now, the reason why they nerfed this in Heroic, it used to be that you had to do 2 trips. Now you only have to do 1, which is, it's a little bit easier for everybody. Mythic still needs to do 3, and we're just going to go for it. So we end up doing as much damage as possible. Watch out for the frontals. Watch out for the rain, which is kind of like just an acid blop. And we're just going to continue to do whatever damage we can do. We're going to go into the intermission phase portion now, which is of the other dude, which kind of sends out these little cobwebs, if you will. I apparently cannot get out of them for anything. As you can see, I'll get hit multiple times, and thankfully it doesn't kill me because it just causes more damage. So Zaf, Ash, and Gats are all healing for this boss too, which is really helpful because there's just a lot of HPS that's going to go around the room. So we're ending up trying to do whatever we can do, and then this phase is just going to continue to go while that shield is still going on, and we're trying to do as much damage as we possibly can across the whole entire group. Now, we just keep going, it breaks the shield, the other boss comes out, we end up knowing we just got to continue to DPS, and we end up DPSing right here. Now, our biggest worry is the frontal at this point, because he's going to take the frontal to somebody and it's going to take a large portion of the room. So we end up making sure we get out of that, and we end up just continuing to DPS here. The web vortex pulls you in. It pairs you with a second person. As long as you have one other individual that has that, usually it works out fine. The first one, you don't have to worry about it. Here I get the swarm, go to the center, need to get that dispelled with the others. And as you can tell, there are others in the center with me that have that. They all get removed, and it goes on to the boss. As that's happening, boss gets weakened. We always go after the weakened target. It's going to cause the most damage to the group itself, and it works out very, very well for you. So we're just going to keep on doing that, and for me, I'm just trying to get rid of everything I need to do and keep going for it. Now, one thing that you'll notice when this is going on is that there's just a lot of damage being thrown around, and you'll see that people's health kind of just ping pongs. So it's very, very something very much you gotta be careful of. As you can see here, we have another, the spell coming up. We end up getting everybody into the center for those dispels to get ready. They end up hopping, the boss ends up hopping into the center in just a moment. See the teleport, and now is when the dispels happened. Bang, bang, bang. They're done really, really fast. You can see that they're done quickly, and then the weekend ends up happening pretty much now, and everyone just goes for the boss. And we kind of just keep DPSing. We're going to be going into the next intermission phase in a couple of seconds. So we want to make sure we get as much damage on the boss as possible. So 25%, and we're hitting the intermission phase for part 2. I thought that was pretty good. I know that, our damage isn't particularly high, but it works out pretty well, and people are getting better and stronger. So we're ending up DPSing that there. And we're going to kind of go for this. We're just going to DPS like crazy. Try to get out of this shielded phase. Next seismic upheaval is coming through. And every 15, I think it's like every 20 seconds or something like that, is when it's kind of be coming up. So we're going to just push in a little more. We're just trying to, like I said, get through. People get spiked. We got to take them out. Upheaval 3. Shield is removed. We're going into a normal portion of it. This is when most people do lust, because they want to maximize their damage on the bosses and push them through the third phase, because it's probably one of the most annoying. But for some reason why everyone is lusting earlier for this fight. So we're at 20%. We get them together. We have the frontal. We have the swarms happening. So there's going to be, a collaboration of both bosses, their big cooldowns now. So we just want to make sure we take care of those. Get them into the center. Get the run out. Now we don't want to break all of the webs, because we need them to be able to use for the boss. So people make sure that they end up having those available. And we got the teleports going on. And there's a trip. So make sure the trip is good. And everyone just lays into the boss there to try to make sure you get damage and try to kill him. So overall, the boss isn't too difficult, but it's more of a coordination fight, just like the last probably 4% of all 4%. Last 4 bosses are all mechanic based. You can do mechanics and take some time, and you're willing to put some effort in. You can definitely do it, just like our group did too. So thank you all very much for checking out our video. Once again, my name is PeteyTV. I'm on twitch.tv every single Monday through Friday. If you are looking to support the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. We would love it if you do so. I'm very proud of my group for doing this. We have lots of keys that we run. We do lots of other fun stuff. So come check us out. And I love you all. Dream big. Keep gaming. And I will see you all soon. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.